26, 2016, and I apologize for being late. We ate supper, and then I said, hey, before I do my live Q&A, I started just jamming on my keyboard, and time went by so fast. When you're playing music, just really, time can go by super fast. So I apologize. I was like, ah! So I ran up here as fast as I could, and I'm a few minutes late, and I apologize. But hey, I'm here. It is Christmas. Christmas post one at this point in time. Some people had today off, so maybe there's not going to be a lot of people here anyway. Only 6 are watching now, according to the thing. So that's not too many. And it's very late if you're in Europe, and I apologize for that. But again, we do different things based on, I just do different times. So sometime I'll do one at 6 a.m. in the morning. Then no one will watch, except for the folks over in Asia. But anyhow, if you have any questions, you can ask them in the comments. We'll keep questions away from the Dice Tower too much, because I did most of that today in the Dice Tower Town Hall. So this will be about games and everything else. But I do have something I want to do here. Here it is. So a couple things. Okay, I'm going to start a new Q&A tradition here. But before I do that, you can ask questions in YouTube, or you can ask them in the Q&A section on Slack. If you're part of the Slack chat. If you're not part of the Slack chat, you can email me at the at dicetower@gmail.com, and I can add you to the Slack chat. Not now, not in the middle of this, but in the future. So if you want to be part of that. So the first question here in Slack said, "Did you forget about the Q&A?" I did not. I just lost track of time. Sorry. But if you have any questions, you can ask them there. If you have any, let me make my phone here so it doesn't turn off every 5 minutes. How do I do that? That is under display and brightness, auto lock. We'll just change it to never. Hopefully I will remember to do that. Okay, so I got my Slack questions here. I got YouTube questions there. But I have here a book. Okay, this was a Christmas present that Z and his girlfriend got for me. One of 2 Christmas presents. The other was a pair of socks, which is awesome. But this here is called My Top 10. And in it, there is various lists. So I need to make top 10 lists here. So I'm going to make one of these each Q&A. All right. So I'm going to write them on here first, and then I'll put them in the things. And I'll answer questions while I'm thinking them up. So the first one here is my top 10 food dishes I could not live without. Well, easy. Taco salad is one. And another one would be what I just ate, which is budae-jjigae, which is a soup. Those are 2 fantastic ones. And then I'll take my shrimp and sausage combo, and then my fried turkey. Okay, so those are 4. Okay, I'm going to exclude desserts from this. Okay, so I'm going to get back there, and let's answer some questions here. All right. Why is Jamaica not an essential game anymore, and what replaced it for you? Well, people read way too much in this. I very rarely have a one-to-one replacement. If I do, I am very clear on it usually. Jamaica is off my shelf because Sam and Z both have it. So why should I keep it if they both have it? Can we get a spoil of a really cool promo this year on Indiegogo for the Dice Tower? Sure. I don't have the art for it yet, but I'll have it soon. We're gonna have a new. No, wait. Let me go back and do something different. We're going to. Let's see. What's one I could spoil that I. A juicy one? Okay, here's the juiciest one. That little dice guy who you see falling through the tower in the middle of the videos, he's going to be one of the pets for Arcadia Quest for the pets expansion. All right, so there's your spoiler. Would you be interested in someone submitting games tutorial videos kind of like Rodney does, but without the playthrough part? I could imagine a Dice Tower library of video rulebooks, possibly, but that's a whole ballpark, and you may see some of that in the future. I get motion sick easily. Should I risk coming to Dice Tower Cruise or just do Dice Tower Con instead? Did any attendees have a hard time with the motion? Well, I actually struggled with the motion on the first day. It rocked more than I felt it on any boat, well, on the last boat that I had been on But I think it depends on you, right? So if you think you might have a problem with motion sickness, maybe pick Dice Tower Convention, or go talk to a doctor. Maybe they can prescribe something. I put these little wristband things on, and I don't know if it's a placebo effect or not, but once I put them on, I didn't feel sick at all. They were great. So I really liked those, and I'll be taking those with me on future ones. So there's that. All right. Could you tilt either the camera or the shelf behind? Oh, the camera's tilted, isn't it? All right, I can fix that, because that bugs me a little bit too. I'm usually in the mood to bug people, but let me... This is from just being... How is that? Now that's still off a little bit, isn't it? There we go. I think that's right. Woo! I'm wired. Okay. Well, before I get to another question, I need another food dish I can't live without. A hoagie. Loaded hoagie. I really like hoagies. Okay. So, any chance in a future year the Dice Tower cruise can be moved out of December even slightly? It's a busy time of year for some professions. I agree, but right now we're going to stick there for many reasons. One, it's cheaper. Two, I don't have any other conventions. And this is a bit selfish, but we're going to schedule the Dice Tower cruise around my schedule at this point in time. I apologize, but since I figured since we're running it, it would be best if it ran around me. There's no time of year that we'll find it will be perfect. Let's say we did it in the summer when a lot of people have off, then we would cross every other convention that exists. So that's the way it is. Do you think Upper Deck will ever reprint Fantastic Four expansion for Legendary? I really think they will not. I believe that the rights to that are, the Fantastic Four rights are just a mess. I know that, so likely no. I'm kind of surprised New Angeles got almost no hype or traction. Have you tried it yet? No, I haven't. Fantasy Flight did send out review copies, but they did not send one to me. I'll get to it eventually, probably. I just have to go get a copy of it first. How do you support a large family solely on the income you raise from crowdfunding? I don't do lots of fancy stuff. I do what I can to save money in every spot I possibly can. I have always done it. I did it on a teacher's salary for a while, so this is kind of nice. BGG at Sea is going to be in Seattle in 2018. Finally, an easy con I can attend. Any odds that Dice Tower people will be there? Probably not. We're probably not going to go on other people's cruises, not because we have anything against them, but because a cruise is a luxury. When we run it ourselves, we can cut that into the cost. Going on these, and especially the BGG cruises, are extremely expensive. I think the cheapest you can get is like $1,100 a person. That's just way out of my price range. Remember you just asked about the large family thing? Let's see here. Are you still looking for your Holy Grail pirate game? I guess you mean where you go around and you're being a pirate and everything? I don't know. I'll have to make like a pirate list at some point. Let's see. I just did make a list. Someone asked me about a company. But I just made a list of board game publishers, and I believe it's going to last me through halfway through 2017. Where I'm going to be taking a look at each company that I put on this list, and I put a lot of publishers on this list, and my favorite games from that publisher, and a little bit about the history of that publisher of what I know, which is not going to be perfect, obviously, but I think it might be something fun to do. I'm going to even talk about some publishers that are out, defunct. It gets a little hairy for me. I was sitting there, sometimes I'm not sure when I go, especially you go to the European publishers, which games are originally from them, or even American publishers, which games are originally from them and which aren't. So I'm just going to kind of haphazardly guess on some of it, I think, or at least just mention a game that they at least co-published. But I'm kind of excited about it. I think I had 70 publishers on the list. If I do 3 a week or so, actually I think it was up to 80 maybe. But I figured it out that if I do 3 publishers a week, I will have enough information for the first half of 2017. And then in which case I'll be turning my attention to the designers, which will probably take another good chunk of time because there's many, many designers that I can take a look at their games easier. Designers are easier than publishers, actually. Hope you had a good Christmas time. I watched your TMNT, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles video with Jason. Do you rate it higher than Conan? The question is, if I own Conan, do I need them? Really, I think on both of them. It's so close. They're both really good. Okay, they're very different games, but they give me the same feeling. They fit in the same box. It depends which theme you like better. You want to be Conan, or do you want to be the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? I personally prefer the Turtles slightly over Conan, so that's the one that I like better. However, at this point in time, I'm keeping both. But there's always, if I had to get rid of one, it would be Conan. I really wanted to like the orchestra game, unique theme. Oh, I did want to like that game. They really need to make more games with cool themes like that. Do I think the play table will take off or be a fad? I really don't have enough information on that. It's too expensive, I think, for it to be any kind of useful thing. However, I also scorned at using the iPad as a board game thing when it first came out, and now that's very quite common. Let's get another food here in my top 10. I'll organize this in a second. What other foods do I really, really like? Oh, lobster. Lobster. But this says dishes, so I'm going to say lobster bisque, because lobster bisque is amazing. And then on that, I'm also going to say a crab boil, or when you put all the crab and the corn and the cob and the sausages and potatoes together. Okay. You love key lime pie. How does Publix key lime compare to others you've had? Well, actually, I was working on a top 10 of key limes. Publix key lime pie is the absolute best key lime pie you can get, I think, that's made by a company. Except maybe the key lime company that's done in the Keys. But, I mean, Publix does a really good job on their key lime pies. Now, I will not get them as long as I have that little lady who makes key lime pie around me, because her key lime pie is the best in the world. It's hands down the best. Amazing. And I ate my last piece of it yesterday. No more key lime pie for me for a long time. Gotta get these chubby cheeks down a little bit. But Publix does a great job, and I would go there otherwise. Buffalo wings are nachos as an appetizer. Easily nachos. I like buffalo wings, but I always feel like it's a lot of work to get everything off the bones. I just like nachos because I can just eat them. Also, nachos can be all different. Is the exposure of Indiegogo versus Kickstarter a concern when you're looking at how much you can make on each platform? Well, sure, that's a concern, but I keep coming back to the fact that nobody should just stumble across the Kickstarter or Indiegogo and say, who are these guys? Oh, I'll support them. The people who support the Dice Tower should be people who like the Dice Tower. So we should have the same audience regardless of which one we go to. Rado at Project Elite as his number 2 game of 2016. Thoughts? Well, you know it was my number 1, which says a lot because Rado and I have very, very divergent tastes. So if he says it's number 2 and I say it's number 1, I think it's certainly a game worth looking at. I will do everything in my power to get this game reprinted. I'm very sad that the project is kind of defunct. I've certainly put out feelers towards it, and I will push and push and push to get this thing reprinted. I really like the game. So you will see us play this one live at some point. Are you guys doing a gaming marathon this year? Yes, we are. We're going to be doing a 30-hour gaming marathon. Well, actually 36. It's going to be on the 12th and 13th of January. We're going to start at 10 a.m. in the morning and go to 10 p.m. Thursday morning and go to 10 p.m. Friday night. We're going to take a few breaks of 3 hours each, so that's 36 hours minus 6 is 30. And we will be taking shifts sleeping so that people are somewhat rested while playing. You might play 12 hours in a row, but you shouldn't have to play much more than that. Let's see, you mentioned wanting an app, but it's expensive. Okay, well, that you need to email me about privately. Let's see, is it a boat or a ship? Man, I had someone tell me that it was wrong to call the cruise ship a boat. I guess that's right. It's kind of like calling a truck a car, I guess, and yet my son does it, but he's 2, so that's probably not a good example. I'll try not to call it a boat, but I probably will. That's a lie. I'm going to just call it a boat. How many games are you in exactly? 5 or 6? I don't really want to be in more games. I don't want there to be like the Tom Vasel in every single game. I really, really don't want that to happen. So I've argued against it in most cases. Will there be new poker chips in the Kickstarter? No, I'm gonna skip the poker chips this year. Are you planning on doing much sightseeing as part of your trip to UK Gaming Expo? Possibly. I know Sam wants to, but it depends on our budget, and I won't know our budget till the fundraiser starts. Tom, I'm trying to lose weight right now, but struggling. How do you keep yourself in check while you're dieting, training? It's just sheer force of will. I And I know that there are times I'm like, okay, look, at this point in time, I'm not going to be able to fight it. So like Christmas Day, didn't fight it at all, right? Whatever, eat what I'm going to eat. But today, I'm on the grindstone, right? Got up this morning, ate healthy, drank water all day long, ate healthy lunch, ate healthy dinner. That is, and I'm good, okay? That's today. Tomorrow, we start the process all over again. And we just keep going and going and going and going. And then every Sunday, I might eat a slightly less healthy meal. And I look forward to that. Sundays are coming, yay. But hopefully I also have a scale, a Withings scale that keeps track of my weight. And I'm like, all right. And it shows me the ups and downs. And I don't know, I get a kick out of that. Can I just contribute money without getting promos for the Indiegogo campaign? Oh, yes. In fact, I will say so in a video that we make for the Indiegogo campaign. But you are our favorite kind of contributor. Don't get me wrong, I don't begrudge people who want promos in exchange, but the people who back us with money and ask nothing in return, that they get the best value. Like if you get a dice tower, for example, the dice tower, we got some really cool dice towers this year. I mean, amazing dice tower. If you get that, that's great, but it costs me money to buy that dice tower and send it to you. So it's not as useful as just people who are straight up donating. Do you like camping? Oh, I so don't like camping. So I hate, I would glamp, but I don't like camping. So I have no favorite food over a campfire. I just want beef jerky, I guess. All right, let's go back here to dishes that I really like. What's a dish that like really excites me? All right, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I need another dish. What's a food dish that I just absolutely love? Oh, lasagna. Yeah. Me and Garfield agree there. Lasagna is an amazing thing. You know what else I really like? I'll have to put this on the list here, I think, is a really, really good stromboli. There's just nothing like a good stromboli. So I'm at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, we'll come back to that. All right, who is this hippie? Me? It was funny. My girls love tie-dye shirts. And so they wear them everywhere. And then when sometimes we walk, people are like, hey, hippies. And my kids are like, Dad, what are they talking about? I'm like, don't worry about it. Do I personally know the owners of Cool Stuff Inc.? I do, actually. Ooh. Let's see here. I enjoyed the lunch with you guys at Gen Con this year. Will there be more options for meals or games with you guys in the new campaign? Oh, indeed. I'm just thinking, if I put a pledge in there to play a game with us online, whether it be as simple as playing a game of Hearthstone or playing board games through Game Table Online or other things like that, would you guys be interested in that? Let me know in the comments. Oh, yay, I get to ban a user. That's interesting. What do you think the next Star Wars games from Fantasy Flight are? You know, I've given up on trying to guess because I would never have guessed that they were going to do a collectible dice game. So, describe your typical first and last hour of a normal day. Oh, that's easy. My first hour of a day is me waking up and doing some personal things and then just reading email. I drink some tea, eat my breakfast, and just kind of get caught up on the things I need to do, look at my schedule. I don't normally record that early. I used to get up and record, but people could always tell when I was tired, and I didn't like that, so I don't record anymore. And at night, I'm usually not working all the way up to the end. I usually read or play an iPad game or something and just fall asleep doing that. Or I might use Stumble Upon in the different topics I like. Like I have Stumble Upon, I have a very eclectic mix of topics, and I'll do like 3, and then I'll fall asleep. I fall asleep extremely fast. I can fall asleep within 2 minutes usually. So if my attention wanders, I fall asleep. It's both an amazing thing and a horrible thing. It's amazing because I never lay awake at night. Never. All right? I go to bed, boom, I'm out. And that's great. It's fantastic. It's horrible because I can also fall asleep anywhere else. If I'm in a meeting, if I'm in church, if anywhere, and I'm not doing anything, I'll fall asleep. If I'm driving a car, it's very easy for me to fall asleep. So I have to be very cautious if I drive for more than 30 minutes, period. I know that's dangerous, right? But I'm very cautious about it. If I drink something or eat something, that will keep me awake. Or if I'm talking to people, if I'm like, my mind's actively engaged. But if I just go out on a highway, it's super dangerous. So it's good and bad. I don't think I have like a medical condition. I just fall asleep easily. Any chance that Insiders or Project Elite will be part of the Dice Tower Essentials? Insiders will not be, for sure, because I know that one's going to be reprinted, I think. Project Elite, I'm trying, but you never know. There might be something else that happens with it. If you guys, like, every once in a while email our Tipia Games and be like, hey, guys, you know, you should get this thing reprinted. Boy, I wish there was a company in America that was interested in doing this. That'd be helpful. Do you have one prediction of a game that's going to be massive in 2017? Oh, well, Pandemic 2nd Edition. I mean, Pandemic Legacy 2. Massive hit. Other than that, I don't know. I don't know that Gloomhaven 7th Continent are going to be, like, huge. I don't know. It's hard to say with them. Like I said, it's really intriguing how I thought that the Kickstarters would be massive hits this year, and the only massive Kickstarter hit really was Scythe. So I'm not sure. We'll have to wait and see. Bang the Dice Game versus Pandemic Cure. Which would I play? Bang the Dice Game. Tom, did you get rid of Dungeon Pets? No, it's right behind me, isn't it? Well, it's somewhere around here. I didn't get rid of it. Should there be a watchdog for board game age ranges? No. Honey baked ham or oven roasted turkey? Probably honey baked ham, because if you're going to eat turkey, it's going to be fried turkey. Oh, there we go. Ham bone soup. All right, now this probably could change. I'm probably forgetting something. But food dishes I could not live without. All right, number 10, we'll go with ham bone soup because it took me so long to remember that. Number 9, the crab boil or seafood boil. I'm just going to put seafood boils because I like them all. I like them all a lot. And then number 8, we'll put lobster bisque. I do like that a lot. Number 7, I'm going to put the shrimp sausage concoction that I make. That's number 7, actually. Number 6 is going to be a loaded hoagie. Number 5 is a wonderfully made lasagna. Number 4 is an excellently made stromboli. Number 3 is fried turkey. Oh, I do like fried turkey. Number 2 is budae jjigae, which is a Korean soup made with kimchi. It's spicy. And number 1 is taco salad. I love tacos, but I love taco salad. Amazing. All right, top 10 food dishes I could not live without. I love that book. All right. Let's see here. Am I going to need another 12-pound box of cookies soon? Well, first of all, thank you. But secondly, no, please. I can't take the temptation of having a 12-pound box of cookies around. Maybe once in a while, but not so soon. But they were amazing. Everyone was impressed that there were Dice Tower cookies. Let's see. You can only eat meat from air, land, or sea. Which do you pick? I would pick sea. Who would pick air? I guess you mean chickens? There's not... I mean, other than that, you're kind of really limiting yourself. Clam chowder on the short list. Yeah, clam chowder would be on the short list. But I like lobster bisque better than clam chowder. And I really like Manhattan clam chowder as opposed to New England clam chowder. I like them both, but I like Manhattan better, which I know is anathema to most people. Any tips for getting a player in your group who really only gets involved in player elimination games, involved in a cooperative game for the sake of the group? Beg him? But some people just don't like cooperative games. I don't know that you want one of them in a cooperative game if they don't like doing it. What is a board game theme you'd like to see designers use? Yeah, more music-based themes. I love music. That was great. Have you ever been skiing? I have not. Any snow experiences? Oh, sledding. I love sledding. As a kid, we used to go sledding all the time. Whenever I would drag my sled to somewhere. Of course, my sled was some cheap plastic one. Sometimes we'd have an inner tube. Those would be great. Sometimes a road would be, no one would be there, and we'd set up watchers on the streets, and we'd go down it. Or I'd go to camp, and we'd sled there. It was just amazing times. I love sledding. What's my favorite rock and roll band? I don't know. I'm hesitant to answer this because I was just showing my ignorance to Sam and Z that I don't know all the differences of rock. Okay, so how about I just say my favorite rock band might be Queen. I don't think they're considered rock and roll. I don't know about rock and roll. I'll go with the Monkees. Anyway. Let's see. Oh, so I asked him at Essen last year. He doesn't even own warm clothes. Yeah, that's true. I don't. I own a suit coat. Actually, I own a jacket now because I got one. Would I ever play something like Arkwright? Well, probably once. I'm not opposed to playing these big, heavy Euros, although I'm seriously not sure I want to play Colony if it takes 6+ hours. Blah, 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 blah. I apologize. I don't know George Michael songs that well enough to answer questions about him. I'm sorry. Let's see. What's the latest on a new Dice Tower logo? Well, we've been showing it off in different spots. It's the little dice guy that you're seeing around. That's not going to replace this logo. I'm still going to keep this logo, just an additional one. Let's see. What is your favorite Weird Al song? Well, I want to say The Streak, right? Because that's not Weird Al. I'm sorry. It's not Weird Al. That's not Weird Al. Oh, my favorite Weird Al song? Amish Paradise, maybe? I don't know. Let's see here. Did they announce the Imperial Assault app? They must have, because someone's talking about it. So let's see if they've announced it somewhere. Fantasy. Maybe they've announced it a while ago and I just wasn't paying attention. I thought I would. I don't see that it's been announced. I think people are just assuming it's coming. I don't see that it's being announced. Okay, well, but maybe I could be wrong. All right. What's the last time you were won over to a game that you started out not liking? I don't know. I'm sure it's been recently, but I always forget because I usually go by my ending impressions of a game, not the ones I had at the very beginning. Do you receive your review copies one game at a time from publishers, and do you think a consolidator between publishers and reviewers would be useful? I don't know what that means. The publishers send me games, sometimes one at a time, sometimes they send a pile of them together. A consolidator in between them, I don't see how that would be useful at all, honestly. It's not like there's that many reviewers that companies will send games out to. Many companies will send out like 10 review copies. Why would they get a consolidator? I don't think that's useful. Okay, let's look here at the Slack questions. Blah, 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 blah. Ray Stevens, yes. I actually like Ray Stevens better than Weird Al Yankovic. Although Weird Al has that, I really like UHF a lot. Bay Area of Maryland is the best crab. Crab is a great thing. I really like crab, but I hate the work. It takes so much effort to open up crab legs that I don't eat them hardly ever. I eat them in Vegas when they were already cracked open, and I must have ate like 50 when that happened. But I just don't like them normally otherwise. Can you earn money with board game designing? Yes, but I wouldn't expect it. I do like Dolores. It's a very good, fun, little small game. I need to get a copy of it myself. Are you planning to do more me versus the internet games? Sure, that's going to happen. Maybe sooner than you think. Does my gut tell me that Battlelore is finished? I don't know. You think the Fantasy Flight would really push it now that they've split from Games Workshop, but who knows? Do you think the Miami Dolphins will go far in the playoffs? No. Let's see here. I'm skipping a lot of questions. I apologize. I'm looking for interesting new questions. Of course, I got to go here to Slack every once in a while. Will there be any Dice Tower crew versus the internet during the 30-hour marathon? Probably not. I'm going to have 10 different people, so there should always be some sort of game playing. Let's see here. What is the better Twilight Struggle like game, 13 Days or Days of Ire Budapest 1956? Well, I don't know. I played Days of Ire Budapest 1956 as a co-op game. I have not played it competitively yet, and I haven't played 13 Days at all. Let's see here. Man, I'm really getting tired of people asking about battle lore. Goodness gracious, guys. Ask Fantasy Flight. I promise you, for the rest of you, if you are listening to this right now, never ask me a question about Fantasy Flight. If they have not announced it, they definitely haven't told me. There's a lot of publishers who tell me stuff that I know about. Fantasy Flight never tells me anything. So I don't know anything about their games, except what they've announced. What food did you eat over the weekend that was most against your diet? I'm sure it was the key lime pies. Tom, when you come to the expo, will you make me the shrimp sausage thing? I don't have my kitchen there and all my marvelous key shrimp and sausages. Sorry, I don't think that's going to happen. Also, it was not a cheap meal to make, so I don't do it very often. Imperial or metric? Well, I live in America, so we use imperial. I mean, I understand that the metric system is much more nicely put together with 10, 10, 10s. And when I lived in Korea, I got very used to using the metric system for both weight and for distance. I still had a very difficult time I had the hardest time still getting used to distance per time, kilometers per hour. With my car, I'm going 80 kilometers an hour. I'm like, oh, what is that now? Because I know how fast a car is going, and kilometers was throwing me off. But temperature also I got used to, but I kind of like Fahrenheit better because I feel like it's a much wider range, but it's not a big deal. Butter, caramel, or cheese flavored popcorn. If I get just one, it's going to be cheese. Tom, what do you think about the new version of Acquire with the smaller board and third place scoring? A review of that will be coming in the next few weeks, probably. Have you played the expansion for Targi? It's yet to be released in the U.S. Well, no, it's actually going to be released in the U.S. in 2018, so I'll just wait till then. It's not like I have to play it. I'll just wait till it comes out. No big deal. I can't ever see why I would be like, oh, I must get this and paste it up and play it, when there's so many games that are out there that are fun to play now. How many Kickstarters do you typically back per year, a quarter? Like 6, maybe? I don't back them that often, and they're usually not games. Ogre Hot Sauce was the latest one that came in, at least. Let's see. What would you recommend for independent game designers and artists just starting out? Play as many possible games as you can. Know what's out there. Top 10 air meats: duck, quail, pheasant, turkey, goose, chicken, chukar, pigeon, squab, Cornish game hen, bats. Yeah, see, when you have to put bats on that list, then you know that you're struggling. I enjoyed Rogue One a lot. I find this whole Star Wars thing fascinating, right? It's really easy to hate on the original 3 Star Wars movies now. I mean, the episodes 1, 2, and 3, right? But when Star Wars Episode 1 came out, everyone I talked to or was talking about was like, yeah, it was really exciting, and that lightsaber duel was great. Yeah, this part was kind of weird, and that. And then as time went by, people started hating on it more and more. When 2 came out, the excitement was there. Yoda with a lightsaber, then the hate came, and then the third one. And last year, Episode 7 came out, everyone's like, yes, Star Wars is back. And already I'm seeing people ranking it like super low. Rogue One came out and the hype was super high. Everyone was excited about it. And now I'm seeing people on the internet like, it's almost like a badge of honor. Rogue One isn't really that good. Whatever, guys. You know what? I like all the Star Wars movies. They're all fun. There are things I don't like about all of them. I don't like the teenaged Anakin, the actor who played him. I don't think he did a very good job, and the love story was very lame. But there were so many great moments in those, like for example, at the end of Clone Wars, the huge land battle between the clone troops and the droids was just really fun to watch. The pod race is one of my favorite moments in any film, as is the lightsaber battle between Darth Maul, Qui-Gon, and Obi-Wan. I liked them. I liked Rogue One a lot. I really enjoyed it. It made me want to go out and watch episode 4 right away because, you know, just how it ends. It was just a very cool thing. And so I like them. And I will make no apologies for that. And I think it's hilarious how everyone seems to like one-up each other on the internet about how they are only like a certain thing of Star Wars. I don't know. I just find that interesting. Do I think the St. Petersburg Special Edition will get another print run? No, I don't think so. I think it's done. I think St. Petersburg's finished. I might be wrong, but I think it's done. I should play Box of Rocks versus the internet. Maybe we will later. Okay, that's not a bad idea. What's the proudest moment of your life career? Well, of my life, my proudest moment is seeing my daughters and taking joy in what they're doing in life. My daughters all sang a special Christmas special the other night for Christmas Eve, and that's just a proud moment to see them doing that. And it's thanks to their mother and thanks to God. It's not me, but that's still a very cool moment that supersedes anything that I have in my career. For Dice Tower, it's just, I guess, when every time we go to a convention, we do a show and we look out and see all those people who are like happy to sit and listen to us. That's still very weird for me, but that's kind of cool. But I think the proudest moment was that first moment when I got a copy of Knucklebones magazine and they printed one of my articles and I was like, I'm published. Even my mom kept a copy of that. If you're wondering what I wrote like a review of Origins. Of course, someone had to rank their Star Wars movies here, blah, 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 blah. You know what my favorite Star Wars movie is? By a mile, it's Return of the Jedi. You can get on my case all you want about how the Ewoks and blah, 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 but I love the Ewoks. And you know why I like Return of the Jedi? Because it's a definitive, wonderful, cool end to a series, and you see the good guy triumphant, and everything is bigger and cooler and awesome. And the whole Jabba's Palace sequence is my favorite sequence in any of the Star Wars movies. Nothing has ever come close to that yet from me. From, you know, Luke striding in to fighting the Rancor to the whole battle at the Sarlacc pit. That's just amazing and awesome and fun and cool. And then the whole Ewoks, and then the Ewoks come back and they start whooping up on the Imperials. And meanwhile, the whole Death Star thing, and the Death Star starts targeting ships, and oh, just amazing. The whole thing is amazing. I love it. What's my favorite Mel Brooks movie? Probably Men in Tights, although I do like Young Frankenstein. Men in Tights. Didn't he do the Frankenstein one, though? I really like that one, too, whatever that one was called. You like fireworks on New Year's. How do you deal with fireworks and having a baby in the house? Wow. I wouldn't let the baby near the fireworks? My fireworks are all in the garage. You really can't, like... To get a firework, you would need to operate a lighter, and nowadays all the lighters you have are those 2-button ones. They're not the easiest thing to operate for anybody. You then need to put that by the fuse. A baby can't do that. Maybe a baby could chew into it and get like gunpowder in their mouths or whatever is in those things, I guess, but I never thought that it's dangerous for them. I'm not shooting them off in the house like, ah, ha, ha, ha. I'm not worried about it. Let's see if there's a Slack question. Are there ways to help Dice Tower other than providing video, audio content, or cookies? Oh, sure. You can always email me and ask. We always need more people to help with Dice Tower news. My favorite Star Wars villain. Probably Darth Vader, probably. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Jabba the Hutt. Jabba the Hutt. I really like Jabba the Hutt. The shut up and sit down guys are often very complimentary of you. Do you hang out at cons, etc.? Well, you know, We don't often hang out at cons because cons that we go to are so big. At UK Gaming Expo, I stopped, talked to them, and we said, hey, let's play a game together. Yeah, that'd be great. And then I never saw them the rest of the convention. So much for that. Maybe we will schedule something ahead of time at this UK Gaming Expo. I don't know. Do I still play Orin Labor? I don't have it any longer. Can I name off my number 57 on my top 100? No, I'm not that. I don't memorize them at all. I would actually have to sit very hard and think about my top 10. I know my number 1 and my number 2, and after that it gets hazy. I know if a game's in my top 10, but I can never remember exactly what number it is. Oh, regarding the fireworks question, you meant the noise. Ah, I see. In that case, you have to just see how it works. If the baby starts crying, then you say, okay, well, time to go inside. Don't worry. You'll be fine. Don't worry about the fireworks. Some of my kids have cried at young ages, and they just went inside and played inside until the fireworks were over. Jimmy seems to enjoy them, so that's good. Ooh, I'm like keeping up with questions here. Of course, I'm skipping a lot, but it's exciting. Star Wars Destiny or Dice Masters? Definitely Dice Masters. Would you voice a board game app or read a rule book? I doubt I will ever be asked. I do not have the voice for that, I don't think. Did Scythe not make your 2016 top 10 because you had not played it, or it was just not top 10 material? I didn't say it wasn't top 10 material. It's just in my top 20, not my top 10. But that's just me. There's other people putting their top 10, and it was in my top 20. Are there any surfing-themed board games? Yes, there was one that was just made by the same guy who made Zaya. Will you and Z ever do another live abstract gaming session? Never! Probably. We just did it like 3 days ago. If you could be any race in Star Wars, what would you choose? I guess human? I don't know. Okay, well, you're saying if I couldn't be human, then I would be a Wookiee? Dabba 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 dabba. What's going on? I won't ask you to do your top 10 fireworks for us. Well, I don't know. I can tell you my favorite fireworks are called cakes. They're the ones that are a whole bunch that shoot off in a row. They look like a grand finale. Those are my favorite. They're the most expensive fireworks, but they're good. The mortars are cool, where you put the mortar in and it shoots it off and does a big one. But I found that you do, one time I got like 100 mortars. By the time I got to like mortar number 50, the kids were like, okay, that's great. What else you got? And also mortars have that slight danger where they'll fall over and the mortar shoots sideways. So you got to always be cautious with the mortars. I still do the mortars, but firecrackers are cool, but you know, they're just noise, you know, and all that spinning stuff and whiz-bangy stuff. There's some that I'm like, ooh, I like that. And I usually write the name down of them because the names don't mean much to me. So, do you think themes should be overlooked if the mechanics and strategy are fun, like Secret Hitler? Well, you know what? I still... Secret Hitler, I never got a copy of it, honestly, so I don't really know much about the game other than that it's called Secret Hitler and it's some Resistance-style game. So they haven't sent me one, so I wouldn't know enough to tell you about the game at all. Do you see, there's the whole thing about the Tabletop Direct. Oh, this is that where Myriad Games is. So they said that it's going to boil down to MSRP, divide it in half, plus 5. So $37 for Ticket to Ride and $28 from them. We will see how this goes. $45 a month could be steep when monthly purchases are not being made. Honestly, as you said, I would prefer to see local game shops evolve into cafes as well, giving the hobby somewhere to come together outside of conventions and meetups. I'm sorry, I just don't see the Myriad Games model taking off because people are going to game the system, right? They're going to have other people buy games for them. They're not all going to go in and do it. So because the monthly fee exists, I don't see that something like this can work not on the internet. And if they do go on the internet, then Asmodee is going to be waiting and going, not our games, you know, and other companies will follow suit. And then the local game stores will all hate them. And again, it's just a really weird move to be coming from Myriad Games, which is owned by Dan Yarrington, who ran Game Salute, who insisted that games should be sold not for any discount at all. And I know this because that's the way Nothing Personal was. Although if you notice, Nothing Personal is now available at Cool Stuff for a discounted price. So whatever, he must have changed his mind. It just seems like not just like changing his mind, but total reversal. Like, oh, well, not only are we going to have a discount, we're going to have the biggest discount. So who knows? Let's see. Wow, I fell behind on questions really fast. Okay, let's see here. What's your favorite mustard? Grey Poupon, Poupe. Yeah, that one. How do you like cakes and mortars? Aren't they illegal in Florida? They are not illegal everywhere in Florida. Do you regret not playing Seafall to the end? I do not. We opened everything up, we looked at everything, and I said, oh man, I'm glad we didn't do this. Because we realized from the game that where we gave up on to get to the ending would have been like 6-7 games of really drudge. There was something in Seafall that I thought was amazing and cool, and then when I saw how it worked in one game, I saw that this amazing cool thing was going to be parsed out in very tiny spoonfuls, and that's not enough for me. It would seem like you would need to in order to give it a complete evaluation. No, I apologize. I don't feel like I need to play through the whole game to give it a complete evaluation. That's just not fair to us. What happens when someone comes out with a legacy game like Gloomhaven is like 100 hours? Am I required to play it all the way through? It's just not possible for us to do that, especially if we don't like it. I do not subscribe to that theory. I think we can give a pretty good evaluation of it. And people are going to highly disagree with our Seafall review. A lot of people are really, really liking it, and that's fantastic. I'm glad that they do. Have you ever played a game where the theme or story brought you to tears? I don't believe a game has ever brought me to tears, unless they were tears of laughter. What's the next Dice Tower Essentials game going to be? It's the Mechs one, which I can never remember the name of. You think I would remember it? I'm going to like tattoo this on my hand or something. I can't remember the name, but it's coming out at Gen Con. It's going to be amazingly cool. Forgive my ignorance of how the Dice Tower posters schedule. But will the Dice Tower be posting which conventions your team's going to be going to? Probably. I can tell you right now, we're going to Gamma, we're going to Origins, we're going to Gen Con, we're going to UK Gaming Expo, we're going to Essen, we're going to Dice Tower Con, we're going to Dice Tower Cruise. That is what I know we're going to. Nothing else has been put on the schedule at this point in time. Oh, I'm going to be at PAX. So there's that. Do you wish you had to get a glimpse of the objectively best games list that many others on the internet seem to have access to? It'll make your top 10 list way easier. Those lists are secret. I'll never know what they are. What's your favorite Catalyst Games Lab game? Well, that's actually a good question, and that's good. Catalyst Games is on my list of companies I'll be talking about my favorite games from over the course of this year. What is my favorite game currently? Oh, my least favorite game? I don't know. My favorite game is Cosmic Encounter. I just got the newest expansion. Man, these new aliens look really cool. So let me give you some examples of some of these aliens in the newest Cosmic expansion. We have here the Bleeding Heart. This says before allies are invited, you can use this power to say, let there be peace. And that turns all attack cards with a value of 10 or lower become negotiate cards, and all compensation is doubled. It's really interesting. I want to see how that one works. There's this multitude one where I don't know if you can see it on here, but it's like times 1, times 2, times 4, times 8, times 16, times 32. You can get it. It can like be a very high multiplier, then go back to 1. So that's fun. There's the Moocher, who shows up whether you want him or not. The Klutz, where you like have a card in your hand and you drop it and then it's discarded. Or you pick someone else's ship up and drop it and it's gone. I think that's fun. The Nanny can put you in timeout. The Tortoise is one I'm not sure if people are going to like that one. That one's very intriguing, where basically you don't do much over the course of the game, and then when the game's over, you then like suddenly use everything. You've been saving up cards and you have that one final push. The Hunger destroys other people's cards. The Sheriff hands out tickets for infractions. Really like the idea of that one. There's just a lot of really fun ones in here, but these are definitely more complex than other ones have been in the past. The Peddler, the Nightmare, the Particle, the Assistant, the Coward, the Crusher, the Emperor, the Fire Dancer, the Hypochondriac. So I'm excited about that, but I'm also excited about these little dials in here where when you pick who you're going to ally with, everyone picks it at the same time and then reveals it. That's a great, great idea. Do you see companies who produce legacy games offering a subscription service for seasons of the games or expansions, much like video games offering pre-order bonuses for early adapters? I don't know. I'm opposed to pre-order bonus for early adapters, but if they offer expansions for legacy games, that'd be interesting. That Abstract Live was great, but consider next time an overhead camera. Until we get our own studio, the overhead camera is just not happening. To do 2 cameras just requires a lot more work switching around to different cameras, so I apologize. Favorite character from Final Fantasy Tactics? Oh, there's a lot of characters I like from Final Fantasy Tactics, but I'll go with I forget her name, the female knight. She's in the very first tutorial mission. She like rocks, and then she joins you later on. She's probably my favorite character from that. My least favorite character is that stupid secret character that you can get in the dungeons who's just not that useful. Oh no, Reyes is probably also, she's tied from my second least favorite character. She's just not that handy. My favorite characters, honestly, are the ones that you make yourself. I love a female dancer character is an amazingly cool thing to have on your team, who then also can jump. Combination of Lancer, Dancer. The Lancer Dancer. Oh, what a great combo. Do you have high hopes for Gloomhaven? I do. Why is it hard to find an affordable copy of Bruges and Voyages of Marco Polo? Because they're both out of print. Will they come back in print? I don't know. I don't know how the new Asmodee-owned Z-Man company is going to pick what games they reprint or not. How's Cosmic Encounter to different player counts? Best at 6, second best at 5, then 7, then 4, then 8, then 9, 10, 11, 12, to 1 billion, then 3. Otherwise, never play Cosmic Encounter with 3. What's the name of this Cosmic Encounter expansion? It's called Cosmic Eons. This is kind of a play on word because it was designed by the original designers, and the original company that produced Cosmic Encounter was Eon. Stone Age or Pillars of the Earth? Pillars of the Earth. How does everyone here think of the end of Talisman? I hate the end of Talisman. I don't know what everyone else thinks. My favorite action in El Grande? Oh, I don't know. I'd have to go look at all the actions there. That's an interesting one. My favorite Christmas cookie is tied between the Lowly Sugar Cookie, which I really do love. Although the person who sent me the 12 pounds of cookies there was some gingerbread cookies in there that were amazing. Any idea of who's going to UK Gaming Expo? It's going to be myself, Sam Healy, and Z Garcia. Favorite adventure scenario on Adventureland? I think I like all 3 of them evenly. I know there's a 4th one floating around I need to get. Where do I get all those masks my daughter wears in the background of board gaming breakfast videos? Many of them come from the mask company, and it's Halloween Masks Incorporated. I forget the name of it. I usually put a link in the description. They make they make board game masks, which is pretty cool. I don't know anything about what Games Workshop is doing at this point in time. Did I catch up on questions? I did. Yeah. What's my take on adding an app to First Martians? I think that's exciting. My favorite game made before Monopoly? I don't know. Pit. All right, so we're going to play a game now. You guys want to play a game? We're going to play a game with you guys against Box of Rocks. All right. But no one here can cheat, so it's going to be the first 5 answers to each one is the answer to this. So your answer to these is going to be 0, 1, or 2 to each question. All right, so as soon as I ask it, you need to answer like right away. No time to look things up on the internet. That's cheating. Answer, and then I'll look at the first 5 answers, and whichever one gets the most, although I guess that could technically be a tie. The first thing to get 3 answers, 0, 1, or 2 is your answer, and then Box of Rocks is going to go. Are we ready? All right, so you're just going to type in 0, 1, 2, and that's it. All right, so here we go. The number of cities in the world to span 2 continents. Go. Oh, I guess I should take out these. All right, Box of Rocks has its answer. What do you guys say? The number of cities in the world to span 2 continents. I'm a little bit behind here because there's going to be a delay, so there's going to be some. So we see 2, 2, 2. 2 is your answer, and the answer is 1, Istanbul, which is partly in Europe and partly in Asia. Box of Rocks said, I don't know if you guys can see it very well, but they definitely said, yep, 1. So you could see it there. Box of Rocks 1, Internet 0. All right, next one. And I'm going to put the word stop so that you guys know to stop thing. Hey, if you type in numbers before I say the thing, that's foolish. You're going to make the internet lose. And people are typing in numbers now, even after I'm done talking. All right, so here we go. All right. Wait for the question I'm typing. Okay, so here we go. The number of points given to an NFL team that receives a win by forfeit. All right, Box of Rocks has its answer. What is yours? The number of points given to an NFL team that receives a win by forfeit. I don't even know what that means. By the way, once you see a pile of numbers come up on your chat screen, you probably shouldn't keep typing them. So I got 1, 0, a 2. Okay, another 2. That's not 0, 1, a 2. There's a 1, a 0, 2. 2 is the answer for you all. All right, and the answer is 2. And Box of Rocks says 0. So you, Internet, have 1. Box of Rocks has 1. Again, if you see 6 or so answers come by the screen, you do not need to keep typing your answer in because I'm ignoring it anyway. But some of you apparently really need to get that answer typed. Okay. All right, so here we go. Hopefully now we're all on board. Okay, the next question here. The number of hours an owl parrot can fly before it needs to stop and rest. I have the answer from the Box of Rocks. What is your answer? 0, 1, or 2? The number of hours an owl parrot can fly before it needs to stop and rest. Right now it's 1 for the Internet and 1 for Box of Rocks. Oh, the maker of this game is Haywire Group, by the way. 1, 1, 1. All right, well, your answer is 1. And the answer here is 0. The owl parrot, or kakapo, is a flightless bird that builds its nest under tree roots. You got it wrong. What did the Box of Rocks say? They also said 1. So, all right, no one gets a point there. Still 1 to 1. Next question. Why are people still typing numbers in that once I give the answer? All right, whatever. This is why no one likes gamers. They can't even follow their own rules. Once you see some numbers that are typed in there, 3 of the same number, don't type an answer in. You're worse than the kids in a classroom. All right. The number of U.S. states that grow coffee. I have the answer from the Box of Rocks. It is still 1 to 1, Internet versus everyone. Oh, I know there's a stream delay, but you can still see what other people are typing. So if you can see like 5 responses and you keep typing and typing, that's not a stream delay. 0, 2, 1, 1, 0, 0. All right, that's 3 answers with 0. And the answer actually is 1. Hawaii is the only U.S. state that grows coffee. The Box of Rocks said 0. So it also did not get a point. You're still tied with a box of rocks. This is going to be a long game at this rate. All right. The number of points scored when a dart hits the 3 in a game of cricket. The number of points scored when a dart hits the 3 in a game of cricket. All right, Box of Rocks has its answer. What is yours? Three. Wait, it's 0, 1, or 2. There's a 2. There's a 1. A 1, 1, 1. Okay, 1 has it. And the answer actually is 0. The only numbers that count in a game of cricket are the 15 through 20 along with a bullseye. Box of Rocks said 0. So Box of Rocks now has 2 points. Internet has 1. This is proving that the internet is dumber than a box of rocks. But it is not over yet. You can still be smarter than a box of rocks. We're not talking about the game cricket. We're talking about the dart game of cricket. All right. Next question here. The number of days that Oprah Winfrey worked at McDonald's. The number of days that Oprah Winfrey worked at McDonald's. What is that? That's what Box of Rocks says. That's the answer. All right. Let's find out. You're getting better at answering these questions. Good job, everyone. Coming around. No, there's a darts game called cricket. You haven't played it? Come on, guys. Learn your darts games. All right, I got a 1, a 0, a 1, a 2, a 1. All right, you guys said 1. All right, the number of days that Oprah Winfrey worked at McDonald's, the answer is 1. Oprah worked the McDonald's drive-thru window one day and bought everyone's lunch. All right, you got a point. What did Box of Rocks say? Oh, they also said 1. So the Box of Rocks has 3 points and Internet has 2. Box of Rocks is still winning. Although I'm sure there's going to be someone out there going, well, I got every single answer right. Good. You're smarter than a Box of Rocks. All right. The number of operas composed by Ludwig van Beethoven. How many operas did Herr Beethoven do? From 0 to 2. I have my answer from the Box of Rocks. I have the right answer. What are you guys going to say? The number of operas composed by Mr. Beethoven. Zero, zero, 1. 0, 0, 1. Yeah, definitely 0. And the answer is 1. Ludwig van Beethoven composed only 1 opera, Fidelio. Let's look at the Box of Rocks. And they answered 1. Box of Rocks 4, Internet 2. By the way, did I mention this is first to 5? All right. All right. The number of dog breeds mentioned in the Bible. By the way, I would have got this one wrong, if that makes you guys feel better. The number of dog breeds mentioned in the Bible. Box of Rocks has its answer. It is now time for the Internet's answer. The number of dog breeds mentioned in the Bible. If Box of Rocks gets this one, you guys lose, even if you get it right. You got to win by 2, but if they get it, they get 5, and you only have 3. But at least you can finish strong here. 0, 1, 1, 1. All right, you guys said 1. That's your answer, and the answer here is 1. The greyhound is mentioned in the Bible. Great, good job, guys. Box of Rocks said, would you believe it? They said 1. That's 5 to 3. Box of Rocks is the winner. Congratulations. Oh, my buddy Box of Rocks. We'll play Box of Rocks again in the future, guys, and maybe next time you can do better. And there's going to be someone who, after this has aired, says, I got them all right in the comments. If only I had been there. But you weren't. You should have been here live. All right, well. That's that. Let me quick put this away, and then we'll close us out today. Well, once again, guys, I want to appreciate everybody here who watches our Dice Tower live feed. I appreciate it. I appreciate people coming by. Twice some of you came by today for the town hall earlier today, and then tonight. Tomorrow, a whole pile of videos are coming your way. Not a whole pile, but several. I believe there's a top 10 list coming tomorrow, but there's definitely some video reviews coming tomorrow. So look for those then. Guys, thanks for asking questions. If you want to be on in this Slack section and ask questions there, because I'm going to be giving priority to these for a while, just email me at dicetower@gmail.com and say, I want to be on the Slack channel. Anyway, until next time, I'm Tom Vasel, and you've been watching the Dice Tower. Thanks for watching. You guys are still here? Go home. I'm playing a game. Video games. That's what this channel's all about.